Earlier, I talked about the 3 essentials of content creation. So now that you have a grip on copywriting video and audio, what are you going to do with it? Well, that's the best part. Let's get to it. Whether you're aware of it or not, you've set yourself up for success already. I know I specifically mentioned this point in the 3 essentials of content creation. I've mentioned it plenty of other times too. And hopefully you took my suggestion and started recording everything in video as you go. Everything starts in video. Now we get to have some fun with it. The first 3 steps are always standard in my book. 1, record in video. That gets posted to your YouTube channel, embedded on your website. You can link to it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You put links to your video, driving people to your website everywhere. Step 2, extract a copy of the audio. Couple clicks, you get the audio from your video, add an intro and an outro, and boom, you've got a podcast with no extra effort. And then finally, step 3, spin off the text. Now, the question is, for step 1, for the video, did you write a complete and total script, or did you just use bullet points to kind of keep yourself on track? Either way, if you wrote it out verbatim, great, you've already got your blog post. If not, if all you've got is the audio, upload the audio to a transcription website. And in a matter of seconds, you're going to have the text. You might have to go over it just to be on the safe side, but without any further effort, you now have your blog article. So you got your blog article for your website, SEO the heck out of it, post it to your blog, embed the video, and that page is done. Now you're cooking with gas. And those are just the tip of the iceberg. Now the real fun begins. You probably already have a couple of key points in your video audio blog. So find those key points. You're going to want to make sure that the thought stands on its own. So you might need a little bit before that, and you might need a little bit after that for a resolution. But as long as you've got the one complete thought, okay? Hopefully that'll be no more than 1 to 2 minute snippet. The shorter is better, but you want it just long enough to convey the point. And use that as a teaser on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, any of those video-based social media outlets. You can use it on Facebook and LinkedIn. I did say Facebook, LinkedIn as well. Then so that's done. Now type up the key quote, dress it up a little bit. Again, we're just talking about a simple short quote. Now, this is what a free account on Canva is for. Make up one of their social media quote posts. They actually have them titled that. A simple template, just drop in your quote, add your company name, maybe your website address, maybe an email or the office phone number, just a couple of those. You don't need all of them. Now share the heck out of that. That is a tease, a little ad for your video, your blog, your podcast. You can use that all over. And you're linking back to your website where you get them to sign up for your mailing list, right? You've got something to download. You can use the audio snippets in the same way. Give them an intro and an outro, maybe throw in an animated background or something like that. There are free services that you can do that too. And you've got your audio teases. These can be used across social media as well. All these can support and market your full video, your podcast, your blog. Use them for the next week, 2 weeks. Sprinkle out over the dates until your next episode is released. In the meantime, okay, so that's taken care of. You've gotten that done. In the meantime, take larger concepts out of the video or podcast or blog and use those bigger chunks and make them the launching pad for diving deeper into that specific point or concept. You've got the one big topic. Maybe you can break it down into 2, 3, maybe 4 smaller ones. Each one of those can be flushed out a little bit more. You do the social media thing for those 2, and you've got another month of posts and traffic, all stemming from the same idea. You wrote one big post, created 4 or more sub posts out of it, and all the supporting snippets to go with them. One idea has sustained you for at least a month, if not 3. You see how all this adds up? Let's blow this up beyond comprehension. Gary Vaynerchuk, has a famous PDF out there where he says, You need to make 64 pieces of content out of one main post. 64 pieces. If you just published one a day, those support pieces alone could serve you for 2 months on one main blog post. But Gary Vee says you need to shoot for 100 plus posts a day. A day. I know. Your heart just dropped. You just threw up your hands and said, I'll never do that. I won't have time for clients if I'm publishing 100 plus posts a day. I get it. I'm not doing 100 a day. I'm not even shooting for it. And you know what? My competition read the same thing I did, and they threw in the towel. If I do 2, I'm ahead of them. One of the first things Gary Vee says is, quote, the reason why people don't make is because they overthink and overvalue the production of their message. In other words, just make the freaking video. I'm here to coach you, teach you, encourage you, and yes, push you if I need to. The bottom line, get it out there. 80% and published is better than spending hours, days, weeks trying to make it 100% and never getting it out there. First, I want to be clear. I've mentioned a bunch of social media platforms as examples. You probably don't need all these. The big question when it comes down to choosing a social media platform or 2 or 3, however many you think you need, the big question is always this. So which ones do I need? You need the ones wherever your customers hang out. I used to think that each one of these was a separate entity, blogging, Facebook posts, LinkedIn posts, my YouTube channel, and all my other social media that I thought I had to have a presence. No, that's not it. All of these elements overlap. They feed each other. They create their own momentum and build critical mass on their own. Now, they're not a million separate nuggets that take a moment of brilliance and 50 hours of work each. They are a strategic handful that split off and build off what you've already done. We've all heard the cliche, and it applies here. Work smarter, not harder. Let's say you start to push 3 to 5 pieces a week, less than 1 a day. You will eventually get a client off of that. And that one client will end up paying for a virtual or part-time assistant that can handle the other platforms you haven't gotten to yet. That's the power of your content creation if you do it right. Working smarter, not harder, creating massive, bolder content that gets broken up into rocks and pebbles and putting it out there wherever you find your clients. Now let's get to it.